All right, guys, today is October 7th, and let's look at the charts. Um, Starting with SPY in here, this SPY, my green line started looking kind of a broken green line in here, and a couple of peaks, couple of lows in here. So I'm going to start put my trend line around this. I typically don't like these kind of broken line. I like something like this, right? It should be smooth up and down. This means a lot of volatility in the sense that it's uncertain. So even though I'm putting these lines in here, kind of trend in to set the trend, still moving upwards. Might be it breaks the lower trend line, but the move does not look very convincing, right? Even though it's almost a 2% day up. All right, so next let's look at the Qs. Qs I had on this trend line here, so sloping downwards. Now I got the second low. Put a trend line in there. It's kind of a narrowing thing, a narrowing wedge. So if it breaks one way or the other, it's going to rip, right? If it breaks to the downside, it's going to fall a lot, and if it breaks to the upside, it's going to do wonders. So I'm going to take this off. This is no longer relevant, and put a horizontal trend line here. So if it breaks, I'll probably wait till confirmation crossing this horizontal resistance at the top, and then put a position, long position in. IWM, it is ripping. There's no stop in sight in here, and straight line. It is very bullish, and unfortunately I'm stuck with and the hedge position on the short side. So I'm still holding on that because I have so many longs with all of these stocks, so I can't afford to be without a hedge. So I'm going to take this off, put this as the lower. I don't need this as well. I'll keep this in here. All right, so these are the two supports. The broken resistance, it's going up in here. So at this point, this is very bullish. All right, let's look at some of the favored positions that I hold. Apple, as you can see, this looks like I'm drawing this trend line in here, right? It looks like it's sloping down. Let me draw the other one in here. The two peaks in there is kind of tapering wedge, and that is wedge is moving to the downside, and it might be a kind of a bull flag. It might kind of rip to the upside, but as of now I'm going to wait till it crosses or breaks either the top resistance or the bottom support in here. AMD today was a good price action. It is moving higher, kept the original trend lines in here. It is a widening wedge, and now it has a huge room to play around, right? So even if it drops, it has a huge kind of a margin for it to go move down before it can bounce up. Right, this looks very bullish for me right now. I'm tempted to draw this redraw this trend line or these things, but it's a very small bumps, so it should not be considered as high and low. But again, I can do that. Let's wait for some kind of a decent peak or low, and then I'll move these lines. All right, Microsoft. All right, so I placed this trend line in here. I'm going to adjust it a little bit and make sure that okay. Maybe I can just keep it as this. It's trying to break out to the upside in here. A decent move to the upside today, and just 15 days for the next earnings. So I'll be a little cautious in here, still on the bullish side. I'm going to draw the other trend here, and it looks like a narrowing wedge, and it's breaking to the upside. Hopefully that will take this up and running. So if this Microsoft moves up, and if the Qs move up, and if Apple moves up, so everything looks like in the same pattern in there, right? So if one moves up, and everything will move up in the same direction. So on the tech side, I'm all watching for the Qs and these three stocks in there. All right, let's take a look at the three positions that we entered after I got to make these video logs. So Baba doing extremely good, still moving higher in here. Um, there is one bump in here on lows, but I would just keep it intact, not keep the trend lines intact, and you're not going to move for now. It is in the uptrend. The only thing that I'll draw is the horizontal resistance at the top in here, and don't need this one. All right, so I'm expecting to break because of the momentum, but that is my target for now, for it to break to the upside. Firstly, what a day it was. I don't even know what the news is, but it broke up, kind of ripped higher today, and it's still continuing to rip higher after hours. So, for whatever reason, I tried to find the news, but the news itself had a headline saying that it just ripped because of for no reason. There definitely is some kind of a reason. I'm not sure why, but let if it's going higher, so be it. So and again, I have 29 days before earnings. So once we near to the earnings date, I need to do some kind of an adjustment as well, and I will show you what adjustment I do once we reach to that point. Marvel still looking very bullish, is breaking to the upper trend, so I'll keep the trend line as is. So maybe because this is just the one bump in here, just try to adjust this a little bit. Now it looks like more like a widening wedge to the upside, and as long as it keeps widening, that means it's going to maintain the course. So looks like it's going to maintain the course for some time. It was not a great move today, 1.28%, but still a decent move. Next one is Square. Square still looking good. It's still moving up in here. I don't see past 2 months, 3 months. I don't see any kind of highs in here that I can draw any line. So I just keep this support line intact, and this looks like it is maintaining course in here, right? So I'm not going to do anything on the trend lines and the support and resistance in here. And if it ever decides to turn down, I do have huge margin to for it to allow it to fall and rise again. So probably wait till maybe one, if this line maintains course, maybe 168, 169. That might be my next support line in there. All right. I was very close to getting into a trade with Baidu today. It looks like it moved high, consolidated, moved high, consolidating, expecting it to move high, but I didn't have enough money to get into this one. The other one that I was looking was Workhorse. It's a Workhorse, kind of in coiling around, coiling down and forming a flag in here. This is the pattern that I would like to play, and I was hoping that if it crossed somewhere 2450 today, that's my green line. The price action may go up, so you can see in here this one I was even watching at this point. It went to 25, but again it fell down, and that's why I don't follow the price itself. It's so kind of jittery, even on a daily basis. So this is basically I'm using a 195-minute, which is half a day, but and it came back, right? And again it's hugging the lower trend line in here, which I would say it's a support. Hopefully if it moves high from here, and definitely get into this position in here, right? So those are some of the things that I'm watching. All right, so let's go into the numbers now. Here we are with the numbers. Baba doing a nice upper run. So right now I am I'm at 2 kpnl on this one, on the leap. On the short side, I'm still positive in here, but still have a lot of time for it to expire. It's a 300 strike, and I received a premium of 1492. Right now it is 1428. That's fine. If it rips higher, I'll still make an adjustment in here, right? Because this leap, and that's why I go this far away. This leap expires next year, October, right? So I can keep adjusting this until this period in here, not beyond that, but until that period. Beyond that, I need collaterals or margin to cover, so I can keep on doing this adjustment until that October of 21 period. All right, next looking at Fastly. Fastly did rip today. Again, this is almost like catching up with Baba, even though it's like only 3 days into the position in here. In here, so the previous covered call that I had sold for one of our strike, I had closed it today morning. Closed it for 1070. I immediately sold 115 call for 1264 premium. Right now it is again 1715. Again, I'm down on that one as well, so maybe I'll do an adjustment tomorrow. So this one I closed, right? So this I closed, so it will be going away. This one I purchased, sorry, I sold, and it is still going higher, causing a negative 451, which I will now tomorrow morning, and probably I'll sell or buy back this one and sell a higher strike call. Right, so that would be my plan for this. Marvel doing good. This simple move up, increasing in here. PNL also positive. My 43 call that I sold for 195 is still in the money in there. No issues. Square, right? 135 did a nice move up today. It is 1000 plus, and the covered call that I sold for 814 premium, so right now at 775. It's also positive in here, right? So as long as the stock price is under 182, I'll keep maintaining this position in here. If it goes beyond, I will adjust. 1.5 week unrealistic for an investment of around, say, $14,000 to $15,000. $3,000 in 1.5 weeks time. So good return. It is not going to happen all the time, but this is how it is. This is how it plays, right? So now we have enough kind of a leverage on these ones, like up to 5,000 in here, that if it falls, then it will cover for at least up to $5,000 in here. So that is so very good in here. So that's the update for today. Thanks for watching. Bye.